But before that, Richa, was it not tough convincing your family and people around you that now I'm not going to meet the corporates but the kabadi walas? So, was that easy to say, okay, I'm on a mission to collect the kabad?
Oh my God, it was a roller coaster ride. I mean, they say your best critics are at home.
Yeah.
So when I told my husband that I'm going on this zero waste journey, which meant that, when I'm planning my kids' birthdays, everything had to be zero waste. So the first thing I did was I told all the invitees that you need to bring your own bottles. I'm not going to serve plastic bottles. Of course, there'll be refills, and my husband and my children are like, no, this cannot happen. It's going to be so embarrassing. But slowly and steadily, I have been able to change the mindsets of my family and friends to a more sustainable lifestyle, but it was not easy. So the biggest challenge we faced is, I feel there's a lot of greenwashing means a lot of companies want to get into this rat race of being sustainable, but they're not really at the root. So being a people's person, how talkative I am, I love talking to people. I made it my agenda to go and educate every corporate, one corporate at a time. I would go to them, talk to them, tell them about the practices they were following are not eco-friendly. We'll get there, but at least we are scratching the surface now.
Hello and welcome to Upodd UAE, a Kya Matlab network initiative. This is your host Ranjana Chhabra, and today I have with me a very, very lovable guest on the show. So my next guest on Upod is a mentor, a friend, an inspirational leader, and an impactpreneur who is buzzing with the passion to pamper Mother Earth with a heartwarming venture. Let's welcome Richa Bansal, founder and visionary of Ecobee.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure, and I'm excited to have this conversation.
So Richa, knowing you since many, many years, we've seen you into different shoes, from a research manager to a mom chef, an adventure camper to a growth hacker, a spiritual healer to a passionpreneur. And it would not be wrong or an exaggeration to say that you are the Jill of all trades. How do you manage it? What is your secret formula?
Well, I think since childhood I had this kira, you could say, that when there is a problem, there has to be a solution to it. So I would, when I became a new mom, I had these picky eaters who would just not eat food, and I used to keep hearing mothers complaining. I said, come on, there has to be a solution. So I created Mom Chef, where I would sneak in healthy veggies, fruits into a disguised food and make them have it. So there was always the mission was that there has to be a solution to things, and I would go for it.
Right. So a mom in you changed so much of that, because we remember Richa having the adrenal rush to drive at 150 and not worrying about the fuel. But today you are onwards to a mission of net zero carbon footprints. So tell us about it. How did it all start with your drive for a climate change future, for a lovable green future for everyone around?
Well, you're right. I've been a very adventurous person, not caring about the repercussions of what we're doing. But I've been in the services industry for 20 years, and business was not something I knew. But one fine day, I said, I want to do something which will create impact. I need, you keep hearing people talking about the plastic problem, the landfill waste, diseases that are happening, the climate warming, but there are very few who are trying to do something about it. So I was clear, I want to be in those few who would create products or services that lead to a zero waste lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So, and that is why Ecobee was formed. So that is the passion behind it, which means be eco-friendly, or the bee insect. It's considered a very eco-friendly. If the bee is not there, none of us can thrive actually. So we want you to be that bee, and hoping with that we can create impact.
So it was finally the eco-friendly bee that stung your thought and made you enter into this new world, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I was like, if I'm going to start a business, it has to be to change mindsets, and whether, it's changing mindsets of children or changing mindsets of corporates. only till you don't have a long term mindset view is when you are going to create impact. Just telling someone to go and buy some eco products is not going to change mindsets. So we at Ecobee create eco learners, and then we convert them to eco buyers, so we could have a more greener earth.
Yeah, we'll be talking more about those exciting workshops and how you run this program for young learners. But before that, Richa, was it not tough convincing your family and people around you that now I'm not going to meet the corporates but the kabadi walas? So, was that easy to say, okay, I'm on a mission to collect the kabad?
Oh my God, it was a roller coaster ride. I mean, they say your best critics are at home.
Yeah.
So when I told my husband that I'm going on this zero waste journey, which meant that, when I'm planning my kids' birthdays, everything had to be zero waste. So the first thing I did was I told all the invitees that you need to bring your own bottles. I'm not going to serve plastic bottles. Of course, there'll be refills, and my husband and my children are like, no, this cannot happen. It's going to be so embarrassing. But slowly and steadily, I have been able to change the mindsets of my family and friends to a more sustainable lifestyle, but it was not easy.
I'm sure, good things always have a tough journey, and so has been your case. What other challenges have you seen convincing, the companies, the corporates, that Ecobee has a very, very pure mission and, is going to join hands, serve a bigger purpose? How was this communication done? How did you tell the world, hey, we are out there to help you?
So, the biggest challenge we faced is I feel there's a lot of greenwashing. Greenwashing means, a lot of companies want to get into this rat race of being sustainable, but they're not really at the root. So, being a people's person, how talkative I am. I love talking to people. I made it my agenda to go and educate every corporate, one corporate at a time. I would go to them, talk to them, tell them about the practices they were following are not eco-friendly. And over time, people have started realizing that it is in their benefit or for the future of our children that we need to start thinking sustainable. But still, the mindset shift has been a very big challenge. We'll get there, but at least we are scratching the surface now.
Yes, of course, it needs to start, and it's a great start for you, Richa. And being the lifelong learner that you are, you always love in learning new things. Tell us about some learnings that you've had from exciting eco-friendly projects that you've taken up, or initiatives that you've taken up as a part of Ecobee.
Oh, so when we started, we do eco workshops with children, and we believe that when these children's mindsets change, they change their parents, they change their teachers, they change their environments, and then we have a 360-degree view. So when we went as experts teaching children that, what are the perils of single-use plastic and how can you innovate to live a plastic-free life, we learned so much from these children. They are like an open blackboard. You push in anything to them and they grasp it and learn it. I think the culprits is our generation, we parents, we corporates. We have a closed mindset that let's just live how we are living. I mean, if we don't change, it's not going to impact everyone. But it is these children, you teach them the way of living an eco-friendly lifestyle, and they just take it to fish like water, fish to water. So I have learned a lot from children, and that's why we spend a lot of our time apart from our business doing workshops with children so that they could take it back to their parents or to the corporate world or to schools to create impact.
Yes, and you have started it at the right place, because these are the ones who are going to build our future, right? And empowering them, educating them, nothing better to do. So tell us, from yes for us, that's how we began the journey, Richa began the journey, and to Ecobee now, what all has changed, what all has transformed, and who were your pillars of strength and motivation all through?
So, when we started Yes for Us, which stands for Youth Environment Sustainability for Us, we were just focusing on the education part of it. So, we were changing mindsets. Then we decided, or we figured out, that there is a lot of need for accessibility and cost-effective, eco-friendly products in the market, because everywhere you go to an event, you go to a corporate, you go to a school, there is either packaging which is being used or giveaways which are being used, but everything had a very big element of plastic in it. So we brought about innovative products that reduce the dependence on single-use plastics, be it any kind of corporate or institution that you are, and we have encouraged corporates to start thinking of even their gifts, even their packaging to be sustainable. And now is, when, I mean, initially it was a challenge, but now people know us as, okay, if you're looking for a sustainable brand from a packaging perspective or from a gifting perspective, let's talk to Ecobee.
That's excellent, and something that is very motivating for an entrepreneur, to receive that kind of acceptance from the society. So what's next, Richa? What are the most highly rated products that Ecobee has given to the society, to the community? And I know your products are on Amazon also. Some great reviews are flashing out there. So why don't you tell our listeners about those exciting products?
Sure. One of our best sellers and closest to my heart is our bubble wrap, which is made out of paper, and it replaces the single-use plastic bubble wrap that we use. So it stretches to form bubbles and can replace any kind of plastic packaging. You think of an e-commerce company, you think of a perfume company, you think of a corporate giving gifts, you order a small item from Noon, everything is wrapped in bubble wrap. And then it's thrown away within a few minutes and it stays in the landfill for years. So our honeycomb paper replaces these bubble wraps and is being used by different industries from a packaging perspective. Then we have plantable stationery, books, pens, pencils that grow into fruits and flowers. And we customize them for children with fun artworks or for corporates with the theme that they want so that they enjoy using it. But the concept is at the end of it, it's a zero waste product. So every product, we have 5 to 6 products. I don't know how many I can name here for you, but every product, whether it is our eco-friendly bags, our compostable garbage bags, or what we do, the bamboo product line for hotel bathrooms, everything has a zero waste story behind it. If you use it, be guilt-free that you're not hampering Mother Earth.
The right word at the right time, guilt-free. I think when we talk of sustainability or anybody who comes from that business, the first thing that comes to our mind is, oh God, they're going to make us conscious and guilty. So does that happen with you when you're around your friends and family? Do they just hide the wrapping paper down under the bed looking at you, expecting something to come up now?
Well, I've gone through those occasions, but now I've become like a iced wall. And so I remember when I used to go to parties with my friends, or they were organizing house parties. Everyone was so used to the plastic disposables, plastic bottles, because it's convenient.
Yeah.
And I would be the one saying, guys, let's do an event with eco disposables, or let's reuse stuff so that we, because it's not only using eco-friendly products, you also need to reuse stuff to reduce waste. And initially I thought, wow, I'm going to be famous. Everyone knows me for cleaning the environment. But it was just the opposite. They were like, Richa is coming. Guys, let's just hide our stuff and, okay, let's show we are doing it. And then they would go back to their normal life. So I have found it very challenging initially that, people would hide plastic bottles because I am there, or, show off that they're doing green things.
Yeah.
But thankfully in my friend circle now, with time, everyone has started adopting eco-friendly habits. So I take that as a plus that I'm in the right direction, and we'll slowly get there.
Right direction, and with the right set of people who boycotted the plastic and not boycotted Richa. So tell us, Richa, when you talk to companies about this, and you rightly mentioned that it's a lot of greenwashing that's happening. What is that they're looking at? What kind of products? What kind of elements that they are looking at to be called a sustainable company, or a company who is contributing to the UN goal of sustainability? So what is that they're looking at? Do you have those products on the shelf?
Yes. So, thankfully, the UAE government is very supportive of sustainable initiatives. In fact, last year was the year of sustainability, and they've even named this year as the year of sustainability. So it has sort of forced corporates that they need to think. And there are, even if there is greenwashing, there are a lot of genuine corporates who want to make a difference. For example, yesterday we got a call from one of the largest family groups over here who has a very large e-commerce business. And they are like, we want to replace the plastic packaging that we use in the year with the honeycomb bubble paper. So just hearing these thoughts also used to please us so much, because there are companies who are thinking to create impact, and they use about 5 million rolls of bubble wrap a year. So just imagine the waste they create. So we are genuinely seeing corporates who want to use sustainable products, not only from creating a greener environment, but they want to give a message as a brand that they are green.
And that thought should always start at home. As we say, think sustainability, think home. So, Richa, for all our listeners, what is your advice? What should we start doing at home if we are not already doing it for a cleaner, greener future?
I think it's very important to walk the talk. When I started Ecobee, I was very clear that I have 2 young children, and I want them to look up to me as doing the right thing for the environment, so that when they grow up, I can give them the option of a green future. So we started with a simple habit of waste sorting in our house. So, we'll have a bag for plastic, we'll have a bag for paper, we'll have a bag for the wet garbage. Even though I'm a green mom, it's somewhere in my house you will still find plastic, because there are things we consume that have plastic, right? So plastic is not the issue. What I taught my children, and I teach everyone, is please understand it's single-use plastic that is the culprit, right? If you have plastic in your home that can be reused or recycled to make something, it's not an issue. What the issue is, can we stop using things which have single-use plastic in them? So one tip which may work is, most of your children go for a McDonald's or a fast food joint, and whenever they ask for a juice or a soda, you always get a plastic straw with it. Either you refuse the straw and drink it through the glass, or carry your own metal straw. Right. So these are habits that you need to build on. People are very comfortable carrying a 4 kg phone with them, but they will not carry a 400 gram straw with them.
Yeah.
So mindsets need to change from home.
Lovely. That's a wonderful thought. And I think that is what takes us to a brighter future, changing mindsets. So with Ecobee, Richa, what are we expecting to change in the coming years? You have a lovely store in Alcuz now, which has been a new addition, and we see your products out there on the shelf. We can visit, touch, feel, buy. What's next?
So, now corporates have started knowing about us, our next agenda is to make sure we can reach outside of UAE and spread this green mission even in GCC. We have been inviting corporates to come over to our store in Alcuz. We have a huge display wall of our eco-friendly products. We want to showcase you not only why these products are great, but to show you when you dispose them, why will you be again as guilt-free, why are you leaving a greener earth? So we are now interacting with a lot of corporates, universities, schools, governments, the touch points that can create impact to educate them on eco-friendly habits, and hoping that in this year we'll be sharing news of more and more corporates we are associating with.
We are so looking forward to that. And with that, we also would like to know your thought if your venture, Ecobee, which is a wonderful initiative for everybody, solves a bigger purpose. Do you think it's a passion or it's a purpose for you?
Well, I think everything starts with passion. If you don't have the passion, purpose is meaningless. Of course, purpose is important. For me, the passion was to create a mindset shift towards sustainability, and can I create zero waste products? If this passion was not driving me, the purpose behind Ecobee would not be there. So it's passion, definitely, 100%.
Lovely. And how do you fill your cup of passion every day?
So, I mean, I make sure that I stick to all our, clean habits. I work with a lot of schools where I do initiatives for children to teach them eco habits, and that just kickstarts my day. Every week I spend some time doing initiatives with schools, and knowing that I'm at the right track, and giving back to the society. I don't know if you've heard, we do an Eco Ramadan challenge for the last 3 years, where we encourage children to do eco habits for the entire period of Ramadan, and then we reward them for their eco behavior. So these are things, working with children, working with corporates, educating them, that keeps me going every day, that my life has a meaning.
And that definitely shows in all that you're doing. So, Richa, let's talk about the other side of the coin. This is a very thoughtful Richa, and who's bringing purpose to what she does. What's the other side of the coin? What made you so calmer, so poised, and so contented in life?
So I was a very carefree, enjoying life of a person, but very early on in my life, I lost my mother, and that's when everything changed for me. I realized that health, everything started centering around health for me, and everything else is immaterial. So I have started focusing a lot on my health, my children's health, my family's health, and beyond sustainability or Ecobee, if I'm doing anything, it is related to health. I'm a foodie. I love cooking. So whenever I go back home, cooking interesting, healthy meals for my kids is a stress buster. So that's what keeps me going. And yeah, that's about it.
So, Richa, tell us about the corporates, the brands, the categories who support your mission, and who've been coming to you with orders or requests for innovative, eco-friendly products.
Oh, we've been very grateful for the variety of corporates that we've been getting, and especially last year when we had COP28, we had Carrefour. They had set up their eco shop at COP28. So all our plantable stationery was branded for them. We had our bottles, our wheat fiber mugs, all branded for them. Mm-hmm. We even had the honor of working with the Royal Office of Abu Dhabi, where on the day of National Day, they had taken our seed paper with a green message to give to everyone that went to COP28. Then we work with very big schools and universities in the region. We are working with big e-commerce companies. So, we've also been working with startups who want to start their journey with a green message. So there's been a mixed bag. Anyone that is looking for B2B bulk orders of sustainable products, that's our client.
Lovely. So we'd love to know how our listeners, all the students, the kids, the parents out there, the corporates out there can support you in your green mission.
If you are a decision maker in your company and you have an option to go for green packaging or to go for greener products for your events, employee giveaways, corporate giveaways, and creating a green message, then we would love to talk to you and work with you. So we're inviting all schools, universities, corporates and governments and event organizers that when you think of being sustainable or when you think of being green, think of Ecobee.
Lovely. So think green, think Ecobee, think innovative. That's with Richa Bansal, founder Ecobee, who shared her lovely story of thriving, of creating excellence in business and creating value in delivering products that are eco-friendly, safe, and caring for nature. That's from our side. See you again. Bye-bye.
So we have with us Richa Bansal. Richa, hi, and we are so happy that you're here with us. So how did you feel? What is your one message to all our listeners? And I really want you to say some kind words for us.
No, it's been a pleasure being here, and you guys are doing a fantastic job, of spreading the message. Every person that would be coming here would have their own story, their own journey, their own challenges, and bringing that out for listeners. You're creating a lot of variety for your readers and for your listeners. So I applaud you for that, and I thoroughly enjoyed talking. It relived my journey, and it was like just having a coffee with a friend. It was really fun.
Wonderful. So Richa Bansal's and Ecobee details are available on the podcast. Get in touch with her. She's open to collaborations. She's open to reach out to all the brands, even in India, and of course the UAE market. Richa, thank you so much for coming and speaking to us.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.